Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we're having, it's a late night for us because we're after dark, which is late night, okay? So, I wanted to just go through the kind of day we've had. Up very early this morning, and we have had problems with the red again. Let's just say that the red is not a huge trouble to us. It's just that we put it through a heck of a lot of work, that it was never really designed to be that much overloaded. And for all you guys who just love to do off-roading, it's one thing to go out at the weekend in a vehicle that is probably specially prepared for off-roading and well, do a lot of adventurous, dangerous things. But when you're doing it every single day up and down a road, and it's a very challenging road, then it's a different thing. And I always appreciate all of the comments. I appreciate the one John offered to send me a snow chain if that would help, but the practicalities of wrapping anything around the wheels just make it totally impractical, because at the end of it, when I get down to the end of the road, I've got to take that chain off, and I have nowhere to clean up, so it's the end of the road. Okay, so thanks so much for those offers. It really is appreciated. Well, so what happened? Well, we tried to get the red repaired. We went into Taliban. We tried to get our usual guy, Nestor, and he had gone off for the day, or for a couple of days for all we know, and he wasn't available. He was in Cebu. Well, we had another duty which we had to get back for. We had arranged for another mechanic to come in and work on it today, and we had to be there for him for 10 o'clock, which we were. And on the way we had to pick up Brian, our friend, and he is off for a couple of days in Cebu with some things that he wants to do there. So we had to get him to the port. So it's been kind of like running up and down between home and Taliban, trying to get parts. We got new spark plugs for the red. Turned out that they were not what the mechanic wanted. I took the old spark plug in, but of course I don't have my reading glasses on when I go in, and I can't see tiny little print that's on the side of the plug. So I asked the guy, is this exactly the same? He said yes. So I took them. When we got there, it turned out it wasn't. So we've been back and forth. It took Brian to the port, and then we came back. We went to Taliban, got some groceries. We have to take, as I always try to say, if you want us to do a particular thing, then all you have to do is say, I'm sending this amount to you, and this is what I want you to do. Well, one of the things that we had an amount of money sent to us, and it was to buy groceries. I think that was Daryl, wasn't it, Beth?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl, who is living in Cebu, and is going to be coming back again. He's been a couple of times visitor, and we've been over to see him. So he's a good friend and subscriber, and has taken a special interest in Michael the diabetic. Well, we didn't have any time to go for Michael to take him his groceries, which is what Daryl wanted us to do. So we're planning on doing that tomorrow, because tomorrow is a church day, obviously, and we'll hope that Michael's going to be there. But anyway, we have to go very, very close to Michael's home to pick up the family and extended community members of the Three Little Girls house. So that's on the charts for tomorrow. So, as I say, back and forth to Taliban, a lot of driving and a very early start, and then a lot of waiting around while Beth goes into the bank, and we have to go to Western Union, and we have to go to Cebuana, and there's a lot of waiting, and for me, trying to keep awake a lot of the time. I'm good when it's lots happening. When boredom sets in, that's a really tough one. Well, anyway, on the way home we had we picked up groceries for the Blindman, and that's courtesy of Tata. No, it's not. Sorry, Tita. Tita. Sorry, I get my Titas and Tatas mixed up sometimes. Tita Cornea, I know, and she has been a terrific supporter of a lot of different projects, and she has said that she would like us to go and get 1,000 pesos worth of groceries and take them for the Blindman, so that he at least had some staples there. I got to say that on the way back, when Beth said, "Why don't we go and take the stuff to the Blindman?" I said no. I was just exhausted by that time. Sometimes it just catches up on you. But then when I started thinking about it, and I thought that the Blindman would be there in his little house and possibly might not have any food. That is a reality here in the Philippines, is people can be in a situation where they have no money, and B, they have no food. So I managed to find a second wind, and we went and we trekked. Even going to see the Blindman is an off-road thing, four-wheel drive. So we went to see him, and I was very glad that we did, and that I had given in and said, okay, we'll do it. So when we got there, the Blindman was lying in his little seated area that's next to his kitchen, and he's always he's a very calm man, but he was glad to see us, and we made a video, of course, which you'll be able to see, which I think may even have been uploaded now. And in his own language, he said to Beth, I asked him, my question was, how are you settling in to your new house? And he said that there had been so much rain that he didn't think that, had he not had a new place to stay, if he'd still been in that terrible, I don't know, like a chicken shed, he probably wouldn't be here. That was his words, which we surmised and assumed meant that he might have died and just given up. So, when, you know, if you're one of those guys who likes to judge and talk about things which are in a far superior place than the humble help that we try to give people, that is a shelter and a roof over their head which doesn't pour in with rain, try to understand that the help that we give is at the most humble level. It is about putting food in mouths, maybe getting some medication for someone who just can't afford to go and buy medication. And it's not something that we can judge on, and I say this over and over again, sorry to repeat, but I do that kind of thing, don't I? And we don't judge. We don't judge whether... We don't go to the Blindman and say, well, why isn't somebody taking care of him, and doesn't he have any family, and isn't the nephew there? And because other people have their lives, and just in the same way that you probably have your life, these people do here, and everybody's just kind of trying to get by on what they can. So we go in there and we don't judge, we just get in there and help. So it was a very sobering moment to sit with the Blindman and hear him say that he probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the help that we had been able to give him. And I did want to say a special thanks. As it happened today, where's my glasses? As it happened today, it has a particular impact on me. It's all fresh in my mind. And I wanted to say a special thank you for the people that made that house possible for the Blindman. And as I remember, Forgive me if I've missed you out, but the Sandman Steve, he sent money which helped us to start. John of Nova Scotia, of course there is no such person as John of Nova Scotia, that's his code name. Okay, so John, thank you very much. There was Greg, thank you. Daryl, thank you. And David, thank you. You all know who you are and who sent that. And believe me, you may know that you sent some money. You can't possibly know what an incredible change it made in one man's life. So thank you very much. Thank you. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.